There's a lot of different reasons why people would turn towards an integrated model. Some of those reasons people are familiar with. You can do more services, you can reach more people, you can make more money. But there's one that's overlooked that I think is the most important aspect of all, and that is better outcome. In an integrated model, you get better outcome. And I'm not just talking about compared to chiropractic, I'm talking about compared to anything. If you look at traditional medicine, an integrated model is not traditional medicine. What an integrated model does is it actually joins with people from traditional medicine and presents medicine in, I believe, what's a better way or a better venue. I've heard all these stories of people coming in saying, I jumped out of an airplane and my chute didn't open. Well, wow, here he is 45 years later in my office in the 1990s, a World War II vet. And he says, well, I don't know what caused my back pain. And when I looked at his x-rays, I realized that guy broke almost every bone in his body when he jumped out of that airplane and his chute didn't open. So he survived, but now he had a problem. So what we did was we tried to improve the biomechanics, not only of the spinal unit, but of the muscles that adapted to his problem. That's what the integrated model does. And you can use a whole lot of things. We take an approach where we look at the three aspects of health, and that is the mental component, or some people call it the spiritual component, the physical component, and that is like the muscles and the tendons and the ligaments and the bones and the nerve. And then there's also the chemical component, and that is the biochemistry of the body. Not a lack of drugs, but the proper chemistry of the body. When you look at that, you have to start paying attention to things like nutrition. In an integrated model, you can approach all of these things from an integrated point of view. Why is that a benefit? Well, we know that 10% of the population go to a chiropractor. They have a bias against chiropractor. That bias was probably created by an industry that makes money off of not getting people well, but selling remedies to help them feel better. But what we do is we try to work on what caused the malfunction in the body, and now we're paying attention to things like diet and biomechanics of the spine and the muscles of the body and the posture of the body, which adapts to these injuries. And if you start to focus on that and you start to unwind that, it's a little more complex in your approach. You don't have to just take a pill and feel better, but what you have to do is you have to start working on what is the underlying cause. Let's start to improve that function. Let's improve the function of the vertebral unit. Let's improve the function of the posture of the body and the muscles of the body, so that this person doesn't constantly fall into a scenario where every afternoon their muscles are tightening up and they can't stand up and they're walking all hunched over. We approach it in a way where we're going to do it from a medical point of view. The 10% of people who are biased against chiropractic, they would go to a medical provider. And if that medical provider is talking about things like a chiropractor is, let's approach the function of the body, not just covering up the symptoms, but getting the body to work better. You're going to get an awful lot of people, 90% of the market there, that are not going to a chiropractor, that they will go to a medical provider. But now, instead of getting traditional medical care, which is usually drugs to change a test value or a symptom in the body, now they're actually getting the body worked on to function better. So if you'd like to learn more about our functional approach to healthcare in an integrated model, go ahead and subscribe and drop a comment.